All right. Hello. Hello, Natchez. We're going to let everyone have a little time to log on here. It's a beautiful Thursday evening in the historic downtown Natchez, Mississippi. I'm enjoying being here in this old, beautiful city hall and coming to you live from our conference room. We do this every other week or so. We have our Natchez Renewal live, and this is a time on Facebook that we give you a report on how things are going, and also a time that we can answer, some of your questions. And so, I guess to start off with, I want to say it has truly been a beautiful day in Natchez. We dodged the bullet with some bad weather last night, but it wasn't too bad, and we're really getting back to normal quickly. Also, I was just talking to a friend, just a few minutes ago, Fred Kent, who has the kitchen downtown on Main Street. Love Fred, Melinda, and what they've done, and belated happy birthday to Melinda. Yeah, we were talking about something that is kind of unusual, kind of far into Natchez, and that is a parking problem. We are starting to have a shortage of parking spaces. And yeah, parking has kind of been in the news a little bit lately. Trying to sort through that. We certainly want to make sure we continue to keep our city a friendly city for tourists, but at the same time, we do have some rules we have to enforce. It's a great problem to have. It shows that Natchez is growing, and wow, the growth is happening. We're going to talk about economic development tonight. We're going to just, first of all, though, give a little bit of a report on something you may have read about in the paper, may have seen on the radio, and it is a real tie-in, I think, to economic development, and that is our stand for unity in Natchez, our stand for community in Natchez, opportunity in Natchez. We said in July when we took office that unity is the key word in community and opportunity. And without unity, we can have neither community nor opportunity. Well, we're working very hard to continue building unity here in Natchez. We want ours to continue to be a city that is together, that pulls together, that builds together, and that grows together. And we are growing together. And I believe one of the greatest paths to unity is economic development, economic prosperity. That's what we need. That's what we need. We can get caught up in all kinds of issues, and there are issues out there meant to divide us, but I choose to stick to those issues that unite us, because we really can't control what's gone on in the past, and we really can't do anything about our history other than tell the history, tell the whole story, because history is history. It's the past. Happened before I arrived, happened before you arrived, but we're making history right now, and that history needs to be a history of peace, unity, and celebration of the economic opportunities that are now coming to our community. Yes, we are going to commemorate the past by building a monument to the U.S. colored troops, and you will soon hear, it will be in my article this week, a number of other initiatives that we are launching through the Mayor's Task Force on Diversity and Ingenuity in Tourism. These will include more work on our Force of the Road project, more work on our Proud to Take a Stand monument, and also recognition of historic sites throughout our community that have to do with African American tourism and civil rights, and also commemorating the role that the U.S. colored troops played in building Fort McPherson. Some of that fort is still there on the northern boundary of the city cemetery. So all of that's good. It builds unity, and it's important. But I'll tell you what's important tonight, and what I really want to talk about tonight is economic development, because that's the whole purpose of all of this work we're doing right now. We know at the end of the day that it boils down to a person having a job and being able to take care of their family. It all boils down to having houses that are not loaded up with for sale signs, but rather houses that are selling. It amounts to having buildings that are not empty, but buildings that are full. And so that's what we're working on every day. And so let's talk about economic development a little bit. That truly is the equalizer. When we get to a place where everyone has a job, then we will see more and more unity, more and more harmony, community, and opportunity right here in Natchez. Well, I want to tell you a dilemma that I'm facing as mayor. That is, I don't have enough time in the day. And we are constantly having to rearrange the schedule and shuffle it around. And this is why, because economic development is coming to Natchez and is coming every day. In fact, we get calls every day, people wanting to come and meet with us, people wanting to ask about various opportunities in town. And I have to, every day or so, rearrange my schedule because I think my priority has to be meeting with these individuals to make sure that these developments come, that the projects happen. Because at the end of the day, I ran on the campaign slogan, jobs, and I've got to fulfill. I've got to be true to what I said I would do, and that was bring jobs to Natchez. Well, in July, when we took office, and that's almost been 9 months ago, we're now in our 9th month. I don't know where time goes. Well, we said we were going to create jobs, create opportunity, and part of our plan was to keep Natchez open and to safely make our way through this pandemic. And we've done that. And in fact, Forbes magazine voted us one of the top 10 places in America to visit during a pandemic, all because our numbers were good and our economy was open. Well, it's really bearing fruit. We have issued a record number of new business permits. And every time a person comes to City Hall to take out a business permit, they have to put a number down. How many jobs are related to that new business? And last Monday, I'm proud to say that we surpassed the number 500. Over 500 jobs since July. That's exciting, folks. Now, these are jobs that are being created by new businesses, from small enterprises, new restaurants, new service industry businesses, and also larger businesses. The largest one on the list at the current time being Loss Prevention Services, which now has a newly renovated building on Franklin Street, and they have already hired close to 100 of the promised over 200 jobs. So that's exciting in and of itself. But attached to this is another figure, number of building permits. We're starting to lose count. It's in the millions. And if you doubt me, just ride around our city and look at all of the construction taking place, the renovation taking place. And you'll see, for example, a new personal care home being put in on the bluff, just adjacent to the View Hotel. You will see trucks outside the Callan building where a tear out and renovation is taking place. That's all we can say about it. There's more to that story, but we're waiting on the announcement. Make your way down Franklin Street. You'll see an empty lot, now all the dirt work done, right there on the corner of Franklin and Wall. That's about to be a new parking facility for loss prevention. And yes, loss prevention, about a $2 million renovation to the Regions Bank building right there. There are buildings now along Franklin Street that have been sold, that are under contract. I know of 2 new restaurants coming on Franklin Street alone. I know of other businesses coming. Can't announce them yet, waiting for those business owners to make the announcement themselves. Exciting to see buildings along Franklin Street getting painted, getting freshened up. And it's really fun to see what's happening at the new gift shop there, Olivina, and also that wonderful place, Rolling in the Dough, right next to it. Dustin, I love Rolling in the Dough, and we and we like it too much here lately, I think. Also, you go on past MLK, go down Franklin Street. You'll see that there's a new business restaurant in the works in that vicinity, just across from the package store there on Franklin Street. Go on down all through the areas of town, and you will see going up MLK all the way out J.R. Junkin, Sergeant Prentice, St. Catherine, Devereaux Drive. You will see new businesses happening. And this is exciting to Natchez. I also want to say this. There are a number of very important projects on the horizon that I can't speak to right now because they aren't totally done and the ink isn't totally, their contracts yet to be signed. But they're in the works, and when we announce them, it's going to be so exciting. One of those deals I can talk about, we haven't signed it yet, but in this very room yesterday, we had a Zoom meeting with two very important partners in our tourism business, American Cruise Lines and Viking. And we were able to finally agree on the final details of dock placement and the financial return to the city. Both companies are, as soon as we get the paper signed, both companies will soon begin planning for their docks. They're building the docks at their expense under the hill there at Silver Street. They are also each contributing to the city $250,000 each, $500,000 in total that will go toward the project that we will embark upon in 2022. That project is to raise Silver Street in that low area where flooding occurs. In addition to that, Viking is ahead of schedule in construction of a new ship that will hold over 400 passengers, and in summer of next year, they'll be making a weekly stop right here in Natchez. Viking is also planning to begin work on their dock at their expense in January. And American Cruise Lines is actually in town. I'll be meeting with the CEO, Charlie Robertson, later this evening, and they expect to begin work on their dock, which will also be a pier for the city of Natchez to enjoy under the hill there. It will be a viewing pier for the river bridge. It will not be a fishing pier. It will be a viewing pier. And we are so excited that that's about to take reality. Just yesterday, we had two ships docked under the hill, the American Countess and also American Cruise Lines, one of their newer ships, I believe it was the American Jazz. That's exciting right there. And people, that is economic development. That's jobs, because when you're dropping, it'll soon be right at 1,000 tourists every week they're dropping right here in Natchez. And by next year, it'll be over 2,000, not counting crew members. And they love spending their money right here in Natchez. In fact, it's inspiring us to begin working toward a goal, and that is to soon restore trolley service to downtown Natchez. Had a great visit with the director of Natchez Transit, Sabrina Bartley, and we're working on a plan. I'm talking economic development here because this is why unity is so important. This is why it's so important to celebrate community opportunity, because when we can get jobs here, it helps everyone. We are looking at some industry prospects and met with one today. And along with that meeting, had individuals from the Mississippi Development Authority down. It was exciting. Can't announce the details yet, but hopefully within the month, we'll be able to announce those details. A new small industry coming to Natchez. We also are excited to announce that a new major facility is being planned for the J.R. Junkin area near Dairy Queen. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's up to that owner to announce it, but it's another major retail facility, and it's going to mean a lot for sales taxes here in Natchez. I want to also say, as we talk about economic development, it's important to remember that medical is a real important part of our strategy. Med Natchez. Just Friday, Chandler Russ, Natchez Inc., uh, awarded to the city a $60,000 grant that they obtained to help write a medical market analysis, a study. We hired a very prominent firm, Horn LLC, out of Jackson, a firm that came into renown all through the state when Governor Haley Barbour called on the same firm to help plan for recovery after Hurricane Katrina. Well, this same firm is now developing a medical marketing analysis and study for Natchez. And this study will help us understand our strengths, our weaknesses, and our opportunities for building a healthcare hub here in Natchez. They will be looking at existing healthcare facilities. They'll be looking at our demographics, and they'll be looking at the opportunities we have to add more and to truly become that healthcare hub so desperately needed in our region. In addition to that, next Thursday, a week from today, we'll be hosting an important delegation from Atlanta. This is the second step in an economic development trip that I made to Atlanta in February. We'll be hosting in Natchez the Indian Consul General to the United States Southern Region. She and her entourage of doctors, bankers, and international investors will be making an important trip to Natchez. We'll be looking at industrial opportunity. We'll be looking at tourism opportunity. And we'll also be looking at medical opportunity, how we can improve our recruitment of specialists, physicians to come here to Natchez, how we can perhaps recruit international industry and business to invest in Natchez, and how we can see more international tourism here in Natchez. I'm excited about that meeting. That's coming up just next Thursday. In addition to that, on the cruise, I made connections. Yeah, I took a cruise. Remember, I think a lot of people have been talking about it. The maiden voyage of the American Countess. That was a couple weeks ago. I made a very strong connection there that has helped lead to a trip to Greenville in a couple of weeks to look at their airport. Why are we going to look at their airport? Greenville has a boutique airline that flies from Greenville every week and charters passenger trips to connect to major flights in Dallas and also in Nashville. Well, we'll be meeting with my friend, Mayor Eric Simmons, there in Greenville, and we'll be looking at their airport. That's happening in 2 weeks, on the 22nd of April. In addition to that, we are excited that our airport is getting $3.8 million to assist in a renovation of the runways. We've been talking about that, looking forward to that money coming in. It's been confirmed through our Congressman Michael Guest. But in addition to that, we are working with the Board of Supervisors any way we can, and we understand that they are now looking at plans to make other improvements to the airport, including making it more user-friendly, passenger-friendly, and creating a beautiful space there. We want it to be pleasing. Very soon, we're going to have a meeting that is now kicking off, a monthly meeting. We're waiting on confirmation of this through Natchez Inc., and this will be a meeting of our port, our rail, and our airport. That meeting will become a monthly occurrence. It's important that our airport, our port, and our rail meet regularly. Opportunities coming. We've got to be ready for it. While we're talking about Natchez Inc., I want to tell you how much I'm enjoying working with Natchez Inc. Chandler Russ Heather Malone, Amy Guido. They do a great job for Natchez. Chandler and I worked together over 20 years ago when I was mayor of Crystal Springs, and he was just starting out as economic developer there in Copiah County. I can tell you we're having a lot more fun now than we did then. A lot of things that are happening here, they couldn't happen back then because, well, there's only one Natchez. And Natchez is special, and it is getting the attention of so much of the world right now. Another meeting today at 3:30 had an exciting conference call with investors, including one outstanding investor, very famous. I can't say his name right now, but he's someone I met on the cruise, and he loves Natchez. I hope that that will become an announcement we can make in the near future. There's so much to be excited about. I talked to someone today, Judy, a friend of mine, who called me, and she made a comment that the newspaper she read yesterday was one of the most positive newspapers that she's seen in a very long time. So many positive articles. A very positive article, we're getting CARES Act money, stimulus funds, and they're coming to us in the form of money directly from Washington. Almost 6 million, the county, 3.3 million, the city. That's exciting. People are already asking me, what are you going to spend it on? Well, we're going to be very careful. We're going to be sure that we understand the parameters because we would not want to unwisely spend it now and then have to pay it back later. Speaking of money, our budget's doing well. Our tax collections are doing well, and things are going very strong here in Natchez. During a pandemic, it's interesting to note that we are looking at breaking all records in tourism right now. And I understand that our pilgrimage, with 2 weekends to go, is about to be the best spring pilgrimage in history. We're not making this up, folks. It's happening. It's called the Natchez Renewal, and it's happening around us. That is why, I want to say it again, unity is so important. You will not see me as mayor launch out in any direction that in my opinion would create disharmony and disunity, that would create negativity and stir hate in our community. No, you will see me as mayor being very serious to the charge that I've taken and the mantle now on my shoulders to be mayor of one Natchez and to lead us in a way where we are one Natchez and where we do celebrate what unites us rather than anything that would divide us. While we're talking about economic development, let me say this too. Last Thursday, I had a great meeting at Colin in Wesson at the main campus with President of Colin, and that is President Hewlin Sims. President Hewlin loves Natchez. We talked at length about workforce development, and we are working very closely with our school district here. We have a tremendous opportunity right now in Natchez to build a workforce development center, and we have focused in on the Steckler building, and we're looking forward to opportunities there. Why not the tire plant? Well, we have now a temporary tenant that's leasing that, helping us take that financial burden off the city. But we do have economic development prospects for our permanent tenant at the tire plant. I know it sounds crazy, but we are in the Natchez Renewal after all. Why, though, is workforce development so important? It's important that we have a skilled workforce because jobs are coming. We've got to have the workforce to fill those jobs. But this takes me now to another point that I want to make tonight pertaining to economic development. People are telling me, oh, we need jobs. We need jobs. Oh, Mayor, we need jobs. Don't you know? I know it. That's why I ran on the platform. We need jobs, and that's why we're working so hard. So excited that we've already had 500 posted with the business permits that have been filed thus far. But I met with a prominent businessman in our community just last week. And he told me that he knew of over 100 job openings waiting to be filled, and they couldn't get people to apply. One of the challenges right now is that in the zeal of our federal government to help get us through COVID, and I'm not knocking this, it's good for our economy, but they have been doling out money. And unfortunately, people are taking this money, which is only meant to be a short-term 2-month maybe fix, and they're staying home from work. And not only that, they're not applying for the jobs that are out there. Folks, I challenge you to get on Indeed.com to go around to some of our local service industry businesses, some of our food establishments, some of our bed and breakfast and hotel establishments. You might be surprised that it's pretty easy to find a job right now. They're out there, and we need people to fill them. Rather than complain, oh, we need jobs, get out there and apply for the jobs that are available right now and do more. You deserve more than just to sit around and depend on something coming in that's not going to last forever. We have jobs available. Get out and take them. In my visit also with the president of Colin, she pointed out that there are a number of job programs, job training programs already offered right now at Colin. We have job training for the high schoolers at the Fallon Center, the Wynn Job Center, other programs going, and people aren't applying. And financial aid is there. People will help you get signed up. And if you go to the website for Colin, you'll see what's being offered. And now is the time, in this slower time during the pandemic, so many people have just kind of been sheltered in, sheltering at home, whatever. It's a great time to pick up on a new skill. Do something related to continuing education to make yourself sharper. When we sharpen the axe, it's great then to see the opportunities that will come our way. Well, I could go on, but we're slowly running out of time, or maybe quickly. Gosh, I don't know where it goes.
30 minutes in.
So I would like now to answer questions that we may have. Dustin, do we have questions?
We've had a few comments. A lot of thumbs up for the good news about the development, what's happening. Quincy Vildren says amazing. Robert Stewart, Natchez is a great town. Many friends there, including my old friend, Mayor Dan.
Oh my gosh. Robin, that's an old college buddy. Thank you, Robin.
So Lacey Thomas Fontenot, so exciting for Natchez when you were discussing.
Lacey, we had a great meeting a couple days ago, and the people I've reached out to since then about restoring old painted signs in our town are so excited, and they're waiting for you to call them. Thank you, Lacey, for reaching out to do something good for our city. I haven't even mentioned all of the concerts that are coming. Economic development. I haven't even said this. My gosh, Dustin. Dunleith is about to be finished with their renovation. They're about to open. The Castle Restaurant about to be finished, about to open. We are about to sign a lease Tuesday. We'll approve it at our board meeting for the depot project. $1 million going into the depot. And that's going to be a farm-to-table restaurant like none other with a beautiful view. The Little Easy restaurant running out of food. Restaurants all over town having lines because we have so many people in town. It's exciting. And also, gosh, how soon we forget things. We're working on so many things. But Arden Barnett is working to bring concerts to the Bluff. And they have already booked Hank Williams for July 4th. Doesn't get any better than that, folks. Hank Williams' daughter has bought a house in Natchez and about to move a business here. I'm not making this stuff up. It's tremendous. Let me also tell you this. A good friend, Greg Everhart, bringing other acts to town. And there'll be a great act at the Brown Barnett Dixon building right there at Locust Alley Saturday night. You'll want to come and see. Great musical acts. It's sold out.
Sold out. It was
Sold out.
Yeah.
We are working with them now to transform Locust Alley into an arts alley for people to show their wares, have a flea market, have lighting. That's exciting. Met with them. We're working on a program now to, in addition to the Depot project, build a Broadway entertainment district along Broadway there at the Bluff. And just this week, I talked to Commissioner Tom King, dear friend of mine, who we're hoping will visit Natchez, and it's looking pretty good for a grant that the city of Natchez will be able to get in 2022 for a major improvement along Commerce Street, including the intersections there at Franklin and Main. We're talking about a $400,000 project there. We haven't even talked about, and speaking about economic development, we haven't even talked about the recreational renewal that's coming to Natchez. We have now done an assessment of all of our parks. We're working on it. We've been having meetings, getting our pencils sharpened, and we're getting ready, folks, to do a major multi-million-dollar improvement to all 6 of our parks, including North Natchez Park, including Duncan Park, including our tennis courts, including the youth center at North Natchez, including the golf clubhouse at Duncan Park. Folks, it's an exciting time. Didn't even talk about real estate. Went from 400 houses on the inventory in July to just a little over 100 now. People wanting to buy houses, having a problem finding a house in their price range. A good problem to have. We're soon going to see more housing opportunities open up. I'm seeing areas where little rundown houses are now getting snatched up because people want to renovate them. We have an enormous amount of historic tax credits, and the Historic Natchez Foundation tells me that they can't even keep up with the phone calls they're getting. I've got to also say this: if this does not light your wood, if this doesn't light your fire, then your wood is wet. That's the old saying. Y'all, our Shift South campaign, little marketing firm helping us with this. Just a little money. Natchez Inc. and Visit Natchez put up the money. I think it was about $20,000. Put a few press releases out. We got some things churning. That marketing firm has been following the exposures for Natchez on this campaign. The exposures, thanks to BBC going viral, all across America going viral, 700 million exposures to Natchez. We are getting calls from cities all across America asking us how we did this campaign and how they could mimic it. Folks, that is great news for Natchez. More comments.
The Live at 5 is back.
Live at 5 is back. The young professionals of the Chamber of Commerce. We are so excited about that. And that will be at the bandstand on the Bluff every Friday, starting very soon.
Tomorrow at 5:30.
It starts tomorrow at 5:30. Thank you.
The Pine Belt Pickers.
The Pine Belt Pickers. Also, y'all, our Playhouse is back open. Mice and Men running and having great success. The Stories on the Mississippi at the auditorium having great shows every night. I see our open air tours, our tour companies, and our carriage rides all over town. Their cars, their carriages full of tourists. It's time to get excited. I don't have time for negativity. And if there's anybody out there wanting to be negative, well, go be negative somewhere else, because Natchez, we're on fire and it's exciting. Anything else?
Yeah, Lejeune Calhoun Glidden.
Yes.
Is awesome. Excited about all the stuff going on.
Thank you.
Andrea Seyfarth is LOLing you and trying to make the old comment.
I know. I got a little ahead of myself. Hey, let me make this comment too. Natchez has gotten the attention of the Lieutenant Governor, dear friend Delbert Hoseman. Called me this week, said, Dan, we want to come to Natchez. Can you organize a meeting? I said, we can. He said, I'd like to meet with your Board of Aldermen, your supervisors, and then I'd like for you to meet and for Natchez to host a meeting of all the surrounding counties and their elected officials. That meeting's happening at our convention center Wednesday, and it will be our board of aldermen, our supervisors, and we're also inviting supervisors and aldermen, mayors from Franklin County, Jefferson County, Claiborne County, and Wilkinson County. What an honor for Natchez to be a leader in Southwest Mississippi in making things like this happen.
Andrea said, "Whoop, whoop."
It's exciting. Thank you, Andrea.
Ashley Sandell says, "Thank you for all your hard work in my hometown, Mayor Gibson."
Oh, thank you. It's a real pleasure.
All these exciting announcements makes me want to move home.
Oh, come on, but move fast. Real estate's flying off the shelves. Yeah. And you know what's exciting to me too, Dustin, is I'll never forget running for mayor and going down the streets of Natchez, seeing so many for sale signs. I will never forget tourists coming to Natchez saying, "What's wrong? All these for sale signs." And I ask you now, just come right around Natchez. You'll see a different story. It's really cool. Devin Heath, our new director of tourism, doing a great job, and spoke to the Rotary Club just yesterday. Thank you, Devin. So many good things. Well, I guess we better wrap it up. I've got to go speak to the VFW here shortly, and then I got to go meet with the boss of American Cruise Lines, Mr. Charlie Robertson, and we're basically sealing the deal. Great things happening. A great weekend coming up, and a week from this weekend, the Eurofest car show. They had to move it back up a week because they say it's hard to imagine. They said some bad weather was in the forecast. But
it's just constant rain this weekend, I think.
But Natchez, Adams County, let me just tell you, we had, and I'll end with this, we had the Adjutant General for the state of Mississippi here in Natchez Tuesday, making a tour of vaccination sites, and it was so inspiring to see the young men and women in our National Guard who have been serving Natchez to get so many people, thousands of people vaccinated. Our numbers are so much better that we didn't even have to have our scheduled EOC meeting this week. It was put off. And I do believe that at the end of the month, we'll see the mask mandate go away. And it's exciting to be in a county where we haven't had to argue and fight our way through this pandemic, but we've worked together. And I'm thankful to Mr. Bradford. I'm thankful to EOC. I'm thankful to our sheriff. I'm thankful to our Copiah County board. I'm sorry. There I go back in time. I'm on a sleep deficit right now. Our Adams County Board of Supervisors, and I also want to say this, our own chief, our own fire chief, and all those in the city working so hard. Y'all, we're celebrating unity. I will end on this, and I'm going to repeat this again, just in case anyone missed it. It goes back to what I said in July. It's about unity. Unity is the key word in community and opportunity. And without unity, we can have neither community nor opportunity. I will be a mayor who fights every day for unity and for the opportunity that comes with it. I will be a mayor every day that fights for peace, love, and stands for working together. But I will also be a mayor who will fight every day against anyone who would try to divide our community, who for political reasons would try to bring hate into this community. Because no, sir, we are a community of love. We are a community of brotherhood, a community where we together work together for that equality we so desperately need, economic development, opportunity. May you be blessed, Natchez. May you have a good night, and let's have a great weekend. Thank you so much.